now the New York Cosmos are back on the map after a triumphant return with heroes of the past on hand to celebrate and offer blessings. Pele, Carlos Alberto, Shep Messing. A thrilling finish in Game 1 with a stoppage time goal to cement the Cosmos' first win in almost 3 decades. Then a hard-fought draw in Tampa Bay and the team's first loss at Carolina. Now the Cosmos are back home, looking to get back on track. Marco Senna, Ayoze, Hunter Freeman, and the captain, Carlos Mendez. Tonight, New York is once again Cosmos country as the Cosmos face the San Antonio Scorpions next.
It's good to be back home. And home is Hofstra Stadium, where the Cosmos won their opener. Home is where they feel the most comfortable. Following a draw and a road loss, the Cosmos are back at home. They get ready to take on the San Antonio Scorpions here on Cosmos Country. Welcome, everyone, to New York Cosmos Soccer alongside former U.S. international Janusz Michalek. I'm JP Dellacamera. It's only Game 4 of this shortfall season, but both teams know, Janusz, it's an important fourth game.
Bit of a struggle, isn't it? Must win, 3 games in. Not sure if I've ever said that in my life, but reality is there are only 14 games in this season, so the Cosmos will want to get back into the winning ways, of course. And when you look at Scorpions, they've got to get something out of this game, at least a point.
2 games without a goal for the New York Cosmos. Where do they find their offense tonight?
Well, you look at Marco Senna, we're always going to talk about him because he is a special player, and I expect something special from that special player, so he has to deliver for me. I think he's done a great job in establishing the rhythm. He runs the team well, changes the point of attack, but I think he can do more going forward, taking that space in front of him.
They're only playing with 1 striker up top. What does NASL have to do other than score to be effective?
Pull a rabbit out of the hat every once in a while. When you don't score, you expect your strikers to do it, even if there is very little help. So I think he needs to hold on to the ball with back to goal, of course, but sometimes turn on the defender and make something special happen.
Well, he's the last player that has scored a goal for the New York Cosmos. It came in stunning stoppage time. It won the game against Fort Lauderdale. Since then, they've done well in terms of the possession stat. They've had more chances than their opponents. They outshot Carolina last week 11-5, but still lost that game by the score of 3-0. They're looking to turn things around tonight. They've got a couple of players suspended, a couple more injured, but they're ready to go tonight and look for a home win against San Antonio. Lineups and kickoff next.
Tickets on sale now. Call 855-71-COSMOS or visit nycosmos.com.
You know what's so awesome about the internet? It gets more and more entertaining every day. And once you've got Verizon Fios, that's when you get it. How 100% fiber optics takes your entertainment to ridiculous levels.
I was streaming videos, movies, music. Once I realized how fast it was, that's when I got it.
Want to upgrade your entertainment? Switch to a Fios Triple Play online now for $79.99 a month for the first year. Plus your choice of a $300 Amazon.com gift card or Visa prepaid card with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. This offer ends soon. Fios brings 100% fiber optic power right to your door. That's why it delivers America's fastest, most reliable internet for blazing fast movie downloads and smooth streaming video playback. You'll also get unbeatable TV picture quality. So get this hot deal for only $79.99 a month for the first year. Plus your choice of a $300 bonus with a 2-year agreement. Hurry, this offer ends September 3rd. Visit Verizon.com/hot price for this amazing deal. Technology that makes life more entertaining. That's powerful.
I've been manufacturing concrete paving stones for almost 30 years. Homeowners continue to choose Cambridge with Armortech because of our unique process that guarantees the color will not fade. And no other manufacturer has Armortech, with unmatched durability and color through and through, backed by our fully transferable lifetime warranty. Cambridge with Armortech. The proof is in the paver.
Cambridge. paving stones with Armatech will always look like new.
Hey, Kate! A long time. What's new?
Not much. I got a new car.
Wow, nice! Ooh, that must have cost you a pretty penny.
Actually, it wasn't bad. I got a certified used from Hillside Honda. Did you know you can only get a certified Honda from a certified Honda dealership?
Actually, I just bought a car the other day.
Oh, yeah? Did you get a certified used Honda from Hillside too?
I went to the other place.
Oh, well, good luck with that.
Welcome back, everyone, to Hofstra Stadium and Cosmos Soccer. Tonight, it's the New York Cosmos taking on the only winless team in the North American Soccer League, the San Antonio Scorpions, winless after 3 games, all 3 losses, outscored 10-5. Time to take a look at our starting lineups. We start with the home side, the Cosmos. Kai Reynes gets his 4th straight start in goal.
Yeah, but some important partnerships and new partnerships in the spine of this team, of course. You look at Setela, who comes in the midfield, of course, for suspended Nane. You look at Hogab Chirishin coming in, and not necessarily for Guanzati, but he is an important part. It's a chance or an opportunity for him. But I'm still looking at players like Sena and Ayoze who have got to lead.
For the opponent tonight, San Antonio, they've got as good a strike force as any with the duo up top.
Absolutely. Proven goal scorer in Hans Dennison. No questions about that. I think we know that he can score, and I think Cosmos will worry about that. And the Polishman, Tomasz Zachorski, of course. 3 games, 3 goals for him. And I think that's just the beginning. So plenty to go to if you're San Antonio Scorpions. There is talent. They just haven't been getting results.
Marcos Senna knows that these are tough games to play, Giannis, when you go up against a team that's certainly desperate as San Antonio is with this start. You can't take them lightly.
No, you can, but I think he's been into those situations before. If you look at Senna, I wonder how this partnership may change. I think, you know, I give a lot of credit to Nane, but I think with Setela, it may be a little bit different. It may free up Marcos Senna to do something different in this game because Setela is more attacking minded.
Jose Carlos Rivero is our match referee. Cosmos in white tonight, taking on the San Antonio Scorpions in the black and red. We are just about set for the kickoff. It is Zachorski and Dennison over the ball, waiting the referee's whistle. We'll get it started. And away we go. Pat Phelan had several years with the New England Revolution, sending this first ball long. Cosmos get that to Ayoze, number 7, now into the middle. Zatela's pass, he'll get the return. That's knocked away off Phelan, picked right back up by the Cosmos. Played on that left side. Gorski. We've got a player down already. Phelan. Just saw that the ball was released, didn't see what had happened to Pat Phelan. He's wearing that headgear because he's had some concussion issues in the past with New England. But this is a totally different problem for him.
And not a lot of contact there. I didn't see much, of course, on an artificial turf. These things can happen. You look at the ankle right there, and I just wonder if you were stepped on as you see it here. No contact coming in. Yeah, just twisted. You can see it here. Just looking at the ball, really maybe spooked a little bit by a player running by him, but that doesn't bode well for him. You can see it here. Immediately goes under. I think Tim Henkinson knows it as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see him off, and that would be a huge loss.
Tim Hankinson struggling right now with the team's record, and also he's in here 1 player short. You can dress 18. He only has 17 that are even on this roster, and one of them he really doesn't want to play because of a thigh contusion. That is Rubiato. So he's up against it if he has to make a change this early, and Phelan is one of their key veterans holding with Kevin Harms.
Yes, he is, but I suppose that the flip side of that is that if you're going to make a change, might as well make it immediately because nobody has gotten in the rhythm of the game just yet.
What's the thought process on Giovanni Savarese? It's early in the season, but you're playing at home. Maybe not as much pressure in the home opener, but always pressure at home, right?
Well, yeah, you want to create that culture of winning at the very least at home. And again, here we go back to the situation. Let's see what happens. Yeah, players just crossing each other, and I just wonder if he stepped on someone's foot there in the end, but well, let's see here. It'd be interesting to see.
He's trying to shake it off.
Yeah, I don't know if, you know, that's going to swell up on you in about 5 or 10 minutes, so he's going to give it a shot, but I'd be surprised to see him back for the entire 90 minutes.
San Antonio playing with 10 at the moment as the ball is played back to Rainish. And Phelan is ready to come back in with the referee's permission. He's given him that signal that he's ready to come back in, and now he's back on the field. So they're only shorthanded a few seconds. Here's Marco Senna, 19 in the white and green of the Cosmos. He'll try the long ball approach. It's tapped away. Ayose was up there. Ayose, number 7, a good playmaker. That one is too far. It was over the end line. It's a goal kick for Pat Hannigan. See how the Cosmos do tonight. They are a bit short-handed in terms of available manpower. A couple of guys out, Janos, because of suspension and also some injuries. Mirosevic is the guy that scored their first goal. He's been a starter every game. Nani started all 3 games. Guenzati's been a starter lately.
Yeah, I mean, that's important. We talked about culture, discipline and composure. And, of course, I watched that game when they were suspended, and it was disappointing. I think it was very disappointing to Gio Savarese as well to see such key players, get frustrated. But hey, let's not forget, you look at the losses, JP, we often say 1-0 or 3-0 doesn't make a difference. I'm not sure if I agree with that because the perception is different. You win the first game, you get a great draw away to Tampa, then you lose 3-0 to Carolina. Now the pressure's on.
Back to Kyle Rainish, now to the right side, held up by the Cosmos. It's Senna, very deep at the moment. Roversio, number 6, our first look at him as a starter for the Cosmos. Played the second half against Carolina. Had some visa issues, otherwise he would have been starting on opening day. It'll be a throw-in for New York. Gorski got it into play to Roversio.
Yeah, and that's where you're maybe a little uncomfortable if you're a coach because you look at Carlos Mendes with Roversio, obviously a new partnership. We've talked about Marcos Senna and Denis Chetela right in the heart of the, and Hagop Chirishian as well. So you look at down the spine, it's a bit of a problem. But as you see, they found the rhythm early, Cosmos did.
Chetela to the outside. Gorski pushing it left side. That's Diaz trying to get around his man. Good defensive work by Lyle Martin. It's one of the San Antonio changes in the starting lineup. They made a couple as well, trying to shake things up. Ayose goes after it. He's beaten to the ball. That time by Steven Deroux. Upfield, Dennison, second leading goal scorer in the North American Soccer League, makes his run down that left flank. Cosmos have several players coming back. Zahorski tapping it back. Harms pushing it to the outside. Martinez pass inside, cut off by Chetela, then Senna, and New York starts back. From that far sideline, it's dropped, or attempted to be dropped to Ayose. Ayose couldn't get to it. Mendes for Roversio. Gorski, 7th minute, scoreless, Cosmos. The San Antonio Scorpions. Foul was called there. It's an easy call to make on Greg Janicki.
That's a positive ball from Gorski. That's something that I think we need to see more of. You've seen the changing point of attack. You see, Cosmos doing a good job playing sideways and backwards for, but you have to go forward. So you see that showing for the ball. Either you get away from the defender or you get a foul. Either or is very, very positive. So I think that Cosmos have to go to that a little bit more often.
Freeman's free kick headed away by Phelan. Martinez, the Honduran, will start back on the left side. Strong tackle from Diaz, and he's going to get a warning and maybe more. Referee came all the way over. It's a long way to have a chat. And now he's presenting him with a card. Well, he made that one perfectly clear who that card was on, and you don't see that often. He walked them back.
Right idea there, but he totally misses that. And you see that left foot leading in the air, and I think he's lucky there. I'm not saying that this has to be a red card, but, I've seen those given. I just think he mistimes it there, but that's a bad challenge.
And if you read the referee's body language, that might have been his way to say that. That ball is cleared away by Roversio. It'll be a throw-in coming up for San Antonio. They've scored 5 goals in their first few games, but 4 of them came in the first game. And all 5 goals have been scored by 2 players. Diaz will keep this ball in on the far side. He'll try the long ball. There's no one near it at the halfway line. Harms, captain of the side, intercepted. Scorpions get it back. Wagner cutting inside. He's more left-footed, so he'll tend to go inside like that. Back upfield, nice ball through. Coming back, Noselli needs some help. He goes down, he's gonna get a free kick and a yellow card too. Yellow card issued to Janicki.
He had no choice, didn't he? You know, that's something that you've got to take right there, because he was beaten, no help whatsoever. But look at Chirishin. This is what we're talking about, penetration. We're talking about Cosmos doing a great job in wide areas. That ball, through ball is wonderful. Noselli here, I think he's smart and experienced there. He knew it was going to be difficult for him to beat two players, so he invited that contact, didn't he? But, you know, fair play to him, because the contact came, and it's a dangerous set piece right now.
Ayoze and Senna, two dangerous players around the ball. From 22 yards away, maybe 23. Setting up the wall. Freeman is also back. He's the deepest. Ayoze's pass goes inside. Chirishin couldn't get to it. Now it's cleared. All the way back for Roversio. Cosmos trying to be sharper on both sides of the ball. They like the chances they've created. Not happy, obviously, with their finish. Not finished since Noselli scored in game 1. They'll get a corner out of this.
Well, Giovanni Savarese wanted to play a little bit quicker, and you know, what does that mean, playing a little bit quicker? You've seen these balls. I mean, don't allow San Antonio Scorpions to get back and settle and get organized right there. So once you get it in transition, getting through into space, you don't have to find feet. Let other players get onto the end of that. And you know, I've been very, very impressed with the Cosmos early on.
Ayoze, in swinger. That's cleared away. It's going to be another corner kick for the Cosmos. The opposite side of the field. Hunter Freeman comes all the way over from his right back spot. He'll be taking it. Fourth straight start for Freeman. Play it short. Tap back to Freeman. Eludes one defender. Lifts it up high. Got it down, but cleared away. Senna tags it wide. They're threatening in the opening minutes.
Well, we've seen him do that in the first game from distance, of course. If you watch Marco Senna playing in Europe for Villarreal, obviously very, very capable of striking the ball from that distance. And that was difficult. Pressure was coming right there. I think didn't wait for that ball to come down enough and took an extra second maybe there. But it's always good. When there are no options, you're better off taking the shot on goal.
Ball deflected out. It's a throw in for San Antonio. This is a club that had a 3-0 lead at home in their opener this season. Lost the game 7-4, gave up 5 unanswered goals. Lyle Martin did his best to keep it in for Wagner. Phelan picks it up, moves it up the middle. Dennison switched by Harms, intended for Ramirez. It's a rough landing, and maybe an injury. It's Noselli that was down here in the 13th minute.
Yeah, both players going for the same ball. Not much in it, I suppose. That could have gone either way. I think it was the landing that was a problem for Noselli more than anything else in that challenge.
Hannigan pass. Buchko. Janicki. A pass by Martin, picked up by Senna. Noselli. Zatella. Freeman. Plays it up. Chirishin was going for it, but Hannigan is there.
Well, you can see how that high pressure from Cosmos is working. I mean, Scorpions having a difficult time in coming out of the back, and when the ball turns over, 1, 2, 3 passes and an early cross. I don't know if you remember, but in the first game and subsequent games, I think it took too much time to develop for the play. You're looking for a perfect pass. You're waiting for people to get into the penalty area. The idea when you have the ball wide is to put it up there. You know, if I have the ball wide, my idea is I want to deliver a good cross, and it's somebody else's job to get on the end of that. And I think that's what we're seeing right now.
Speed of play definitely quicker than the previous 3 games.
So much of that, JP, becomes psychological now, and I think there's a sense there in this Cosmos team that, you know, if we score first, you know, the Scorpions might just say, here we go again.
Turishin's cross. Naselli brought it down. He passed up a shot and tried to play it across. Gorski broken up by the dangerous Dennison. Now it's going to be knocked out of play. Throw in for San Antonio. Their first season last year, they won the league. Lost out in the playoffs. This year, no playoffs. They've got the split season. So the winner of the first season, the spring, Atlanta, is in the Soccer Bowl in November against the winner of this fall season. Cut off there. Turishin. Some fancy moves there, but he's broken up. Dennison for Phelan. Out of Wake Forest. Uchko.
Well, I suppose if you look at the silver lining for the Scorpions, I mean, they've started slowly in the spring as well. I think they were winless in the first 5 games they got in the run. We talked to Tim Hankinson about the situation now, but I'm not sure how often can you go back to the team saying that you need to win now 5-6 on the trot to again get yourself in that position. So difficult. I think they have to get something out of this game. You know, a point would do because you know it's a starting point. But I almost think that you know this early in the season they've got to get 3 points here. We haven't seen any indication of that, by the way, because the you know, Cosmos are playing well.
15th minute, Cosmos and Scorpions scoreless. Cosmos, much better job so far in terms of the possession game. Reversio, Gorski, all the way back. Reversio had Rainish if he wanted to play it back to goal instead. Goes across to the captain, Mendez. Reversio. 73 degrees, great night for soccer, whether you're a player, fan, or broadcaster. Fun to be here tonight.
So the Scorpions won't complain.
No, it's been, what, 100 degrees?
I know.
Where they're playing?
They'll welcome that, so no excuses whatsoever here.
Great night. Zatella getting a chance to start. He's been a sub the past couple of games. Diaz has Ioze beside him. He'll crack it. Hits off Naselli. Flags up. Would have been an offside on the Cosmos. That was unfortunate.
Guys are cheering for the good guys. It's fine.
That was looking like it was going on target, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You look at that strike, and Naselli gets in the way. Of course, you would know that running across, you know, in that situation, I think you're probably best off not making that run because it looks like you're going to be offside, and the decision was made to have a go on goal. But again, very quick on the counter. The moment Cosmos win the ball, the transition is much quicker than I've seen in the first 3 games.
New York wins out in the air, brought back down by Gorski. Reversio. So quick on the touches. Nice ball, good idea. Naselli. Turishin makes a move down the middle. Naselli cutting. They have held it a tad too long, but he did earn a corner kick. Another opportunity on a set piece for the Cosmos. This time last week, Cosmos were trailing by 1. San Antonio was trailing by 2. Both teams victimized by allowing early goals in their games. So Freeman corner. He'll drive it toward the middle. That's deflected out. Senna got a head to it. Given right back. That could have been dangerous. Good second effort there from Ioze. Helped to break it up. But here comes San Antonio. They're dangerous on the counter. Deroux's pass almost got it through. Great play by Zatella. If that ball's through, they've got a breakaway.
He's been incredibly impressive, hasn't he? I mean, if you look at Nana, you know, obviously gives you a lot more physical play, a little bit more of a passer, but I think on both sides of the ball, going forward and defending, as we have seen, Dennis Zatella has been man of the match, if you can say that this early in the game, but obviously very, very confident, looking to take advantage of this opportunity given to him.
Haven't seen him in the pro game really since 2010. Injuries took him out. He's made a comeback. He's made this team Now he's looking for a starting spot.
Yeah. Let's not forget what a talent that Santella once was, and still is to some degree. He just has to prove it again. I mean, he's played in Spain, of course, in Italy, so I think there's an upside to him. He's still very, very young.
Senna looks up, sends it inside. Phelan. And pushing and shoving in the sideline. That goes out. Throw in here. And it's for New York. Good start for Santella and the Cosmos, but they're still looking for that goal. Still looking. The scoring drought continues. Is that handled by Chirishian? Ball belongs to San Antonio. Chirishian's first start with his team. Also his first minutes. Played this week in a scrimmage, if you want to call it that, a friendly exhibition against Montreal Impact's under-21 team. It was a 1-1 draw, and he scored a goal in that game.
Yeah, I think if you look at Giovanni Savarese, he's still looking for the partnership, you know, going forward. Who are the two players that will work with each other well? And although it may be a little bit too early to say that, I think, you know, Chirishian on the ball right now has been impressive.
Nice move inside. Tucks it over to Diaz. Knocked away. Hannigan claims it was off Diaz. And did he win that? He did.
He's done just about everything right, but I think he needs to find Diaz a little bit earlier. You can see it here. This is not a pass. It's just Diaz gets there. It's a long touch. I think Chirishian wanted to do everything by himself, get the glory for himself.
Thinking about shooting.
And, you know, and that's, you know, that's that 1 second. That's that little detail that makes so much difference in the game. Because, look, I mean, I am really impressed with the way Cosmos are playing. But the bottom line is, it's 0-0 right now.
Right.
So I think they've created a couple chances where we've seen it. Nocelli, of course, one early on. And now you have Chirishian doing that. But going back to what I was saying, good partnership right now, Chirishian and Nocelli. They seem to understand each other's movements.
Santella knocks that ball to the right. Ayoze leaves it for Freeman. Nocelli. The Italian striker puts it forward. Ayoze drops it for Senna, and he puts it over the bar. Everything but that final touch was on the money.
And this is the time. And this is the time where you ask the special player to deliver, really, because it wasn't that difficult. Let's not forget that Senna is not a great goal scorer. He's a central player. But you look at this limited amount of pressure as that ball is put right there. He's got to keep that down, of course. I think he knows there's a player coming from the side, but he's got to do much, much better, at least find the target.
Carlos Mendez spoke to me today about Marco Senna, his calmness on the ball, his poise, his attitude, and he says all the guys in the team enjoyed playing with him. He didn't come here to do anything but work. Out for a throw-in for San Antonio. Giroux is over there. Had a taste of MLS action. The DC has also played indoors with Baltimore. Janicki also had a spell with DC United. Right side it comes. Martin. Wagner. Savarese said that ball was out. It's play on though. Dennison looking left side. Ramirez drives it across. Well, if that was a shot, that's from a very difficult angle.
Yeah, it was, but I don't think, I mean, you got to play that across hard. I think he wanted to keep that down a little bit. With that sort of pace, you saw Dennison making a run, or anyone for that matter. If that touches anyone, it's either own goal or Dennison scores it. So the idea was right, but it did get away from him a little bit.
Chirishian tried to break. Instead, it's Buchko. All 6'6" of them. Right back to goal to Hannigan. Third straight start for Hannigan and goal for the Scorpions. Upfield for Phelan. Try to find Martin. Tackled away, kept alive by Diaz. Nice idea. One switch to Ayoze. Mendez for Marco Senna. Gorski. Ayoze. Santella got it upfield. Now kind of for Diaz from Roselli. Driven across, nobody home. Goal kick, San Antonio. Standings wise, you look at the bottom, the only team without a win, San Antonio Scorpions. Cosmos have dropped to 6th place in the A-team league, but all the teams are playing tonight. Things could change rather quickly in this league.
Yeah, but it's incredible how one game can change everything.
Yeah.
If you look at Cosmos winning at home, under pressure really. I mean, first game after 30 years, Pele, and all the distractions here, of course, going away to Tampa Bay, who had their own distractions that game, sold out as well. You get a point, which is, by the way, very valuable on the road. And then you at least think that maybe you get that win or a draw again away to Carolina. That was a really bad game because, you know, you watch Cosmos having the chances, holding on to the ball, yet losing 3-0. So that was very, very disappointing. All of a sudden, they're, you know, second, third from the bottom.
Reversio is back with it. And back to Rainish. Found the open man on the right side. There's no one on him. There's a lot of room on that right side.
Yeah, I could still play, I think.
If you had that much time and space?
As long as there's no pressure, my left foot, right foot still very, very good. I can deliver it just about anywhere, but that's the difference. And I think that's what we're asking here from the likes of Nocelli and Ioza. And I think Nocelli's been doing that, is that great players want the ball under extreme pressure. They're not worried about being marked. They know that they have the ability to play around them. And we see a little bit more of that right now, especially with Nocelli. He's been very good. Ioza, I still think he's looking for a space. I think Giovanni Savaresi is going to have to make a decision, or at least make a decision what's best for Ioza. You know, he's roaming right now, but I'm not sure if that's the best for him.
Thirty-year-old Pat Hannigan out of Temple University will put it back into play. Played long towards Dennison, and the flag was up. Reversio will put it back into play for New York. Back to Rainish. Zatella. Zatella and Senna have had a very good understanding in this opening half of play. 25th minute now. Zatella going the other way. It was Deroux who headed it forward. Cleared by Freeman. Player down again. It's Freeman who's down. Quite a few stoppages in this opening half. A couple of yellow cards. A few injuries as well.
Nowhere near to what the game was against Carolina, though, if you look at Cosmos. Let's see what happens to Freeman on that one once again. Yeah, no questions about that. You're just paying attention to the ball, of course, and for me, that's a clear foul. I mean, you have to be in control of your body right there. I understand what Deroux was trying to do, but obviously didn't see a Freeman there. Drop ball.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure. I think the referee missed that one.
They gave it back anyway, the Cosmos did, to San Antonio. A show of sportsmanship. It is Hannigan back in goal. Going for Janicki. Janicki will push it forward. Full 90s in his last 7 games. Been dependable for them. One in the air by Janicki. Knocked away by Senna. Scorpions will play it long. We talked about their dangerous strike force, but we've hardly mentioned Zahorski and Dennison. Certainly we haven't mentioned them in the attacking third.
And I'll tell you why that is, of course. I don't think this has anything to do with the strikers, really. What Cosmos are doing with their high pressure, they're making it predictable. So if you watch it, you know, the fullbacks have the ball, central players, they play it over the top, and Roversio, it's easy for him to read that right now. So, you know, it's always good to make it predictable. I think the movement between all formation with Cosmos has been superb, and they're turning the ball over, as we've seen.
Foul is going to be called right there on New York. Free kick for Phelan of San Antonio. Back for Janicki. Martin. Wagner. Out for a throw-in. Martin will come up to take it.
Coming.
Zahorski, Polish international on the turn. That one's taken away. Zahorski and Phelan get stuck in. Phelan wins it. Tapped away. Diaz looks for it. He's got to be careful on his next challenge. He's already got a yellow. All the way back to Hannigan. Janicki, 28th minute. Zeros on the scoreboard. Cosmos and Scorpions.
Excellent defensive shape, by the way, with Cosmos. You look at this right now, they're hounding the ball, aren't they? Look at this, the movement, 1, 2, 3, or 4 players with pressure. There's balance on the weak side as well, and you see that long ball over the top. And for the most part, Roversio, as you've seen it there, can read that very, very easily. And we've had some questions because he hasn't been around for that long, so it takes a little bit of time. But again, you're looking at a player that right now looks very, very comfortable.
Roversio's experience, played last year in Turkey, has played in Spain and Portugal as well. Pushed all the way back into the Scorpions' half. Ruchko. Croatian international will go the other way. Duru in the turn. Tapped away, picked up by Harms. He'll step up. Harms played for 5 different MLS teams, including LA and Chivas. Tap back to Roversio.
Yeah, and you look at Scorpions, you know, some of the struggle, and I think I almost thought that we're going to see that on the left-hand side where they have a little bit of pace in Duru and Ramirez right there. On this right-hand side, look at Blake Wagner, left-footed player that could be playing on the left-hand side. Perhaps it's a better position for him to play as a left-back or left midfielder. Of course, I suspect that they're going to change that a little bit, but they have to get quicker. I think they have to find the feet of Dennison early. I don't think it's Tomasz Zahorski that needs to get the ball initially. I think you have a little bit of more strength and then play off of him, get more players into the attack, because right now it's just random balls over the top to either Dennison or Zahorski. That's not going to work unless they get lucky.
New York Cosmos Training and Development Program is now offering specialized soccer training, select programs, camps, and clinics for youth players of all ages. Call 855-71-COSMOS for more information and to set up a program in your club or community. Almost at the half-hour mark. No score between the Cosmos and the San Antonio Scorpions. Cosmos have surely had the better opportunities in the first half, but that scoreless streak is continuing. Another throw in for San Antonio.
Follow.
210 scoreless minutes for New York since the Naselli goal. Sent all the way back.
Well, this is, you know, we talked to Gio a little bit, and, you know, you look at that, they've outpossessed teams. That's a given. I think he's right in that. You know, he's also said that they've been creating a lot of opportunities. My question will be, I don't disagree with the coach, but my question would be, what kind of opportunities are there? Are there random or is there a build-up? I think today, for the first time, I see two or three players getting involved in partnership, because 2 is not enough. Sometimes you have to have that 3rd or 4th coming in. And yet still, I can only think of 2 real good chances, maybe 1 very good chance, because Naselli gets fouled. I don't think he would have done anything with that. And Chirishian, that was the best chance. So very impressive the way they play, the way they defend, the way they attack right now. We're 31 minutes in, and it's still, for me, 1 real opportunity to score.
Flag was up on that play, so no foul was called. Both coaches very animated in the early going. 32nd minute. Tim Hankinson was coaching in Major League Soccer probably about the time Gio Savarese was playing. Coaching against one another. Hankinson coached in Colorado and Tampa Bay. He's also coached in several countries. You may be surprised about that. He's coached in India, he's coached in Iceland. A lot of guys can't put that on a resume, right?
Yeah, the sort of experience you get. I'm trying to think, if I was in the league, you know, maybe I'm that old. Tim Hankinson may be good friend and an excellent coach. I think if you look at San Antonio Scorpions, they couldn't get a better man, and ultimately you're going to be judged on results. I think it was wonderful what he's done with the Scorpions in the first part of the season. In the spring, of course, just 1 point away from winning it all, but it took a long run. I mean, a special run for them to get to that place, and it looks to me that they're going to have another one.
Janicki back to Hannigan. Headed for Ramirez. Now Phelan followed it up, and it's going to be brought back. Spot on the foul. Cosmos will put it back into play. They'll push it back to Reversio. Mendez kept it on the ground, right side of the field. Ayoze, Zentella, Freeman. Zentella trying to find the open man, making that run. That was Freeman. He's still sprinting hard after it. He almost won that ball. Just wanted it more. This time he ends up fouling. That was a good effort from Hunter Freeman.
Yeah, but that's the one where it's predictable, right? Once that ball was received by Zadella, the next thing to do is to change the point of attack, because you see that run coming. Once your fullback goes forward, it was very easy for the route to read that, and I think that's what makes a difference between a good player and a great player. Don't sell your moves ahead of time, and Zatella's been very, very good, but I think he can influence that midfield a little bit differently. By the way, I'm still a little bit surprised to see him playing behind Senna, but I think it's been working. You look at this first 33 minutes right now. Gio Savarese is going to be very proud of his team, but again, the bottom line is, can they capitalize on what they're doing right now? And there are a lot of good things that they're doing at the moment.
Giroux. Ramirez turning, has help with him. 4 in the attack now for San Antonio. Cosmos have numbers back. Reversio makes a nice block. Ayoze got away with that. Gorski cut off. Arms. No, he almost gives it away. Hannigan read it well, or Turishin would have been in on him. That's a good read from goal. Flag is up back at the other end of the field, as Dennison was going after that ball.
Criminal mistake from Arms, who's been very, very poor, I think, in that midfield playing that ball. And you're absolutely right, Patrick Hannigan read that well. I'm not sure if you read that. It's just a desperation. Obviously, you have to go and hope that you get there first.
Gorski. Tap back by Diaz. Ayoze. He's looking for Zentella. Turnover there. Dennison, great idea on that ball. Ramirez has help in front. Goes to the outside. Played it wide. Missed an opportunity. Ramirez was open. He had help in terms of other runners.
And I'll tell you what, you're looking at this pass and the value of Hans Dennison. This is unbelievable. By the way, this is the second time he's done that like this. The little diagonal ball across, and I tell you, I'm not sure how Ramirez misses that. Takes it to his left, to the far post, of course. And I tell you, Reinisch did a good job in just leaving that trailing leg there, because, you have to squeeze that through. It wasn't easy. But, this is, for me, that's the difference between good and great striker. And I think Dennison, we haven't seen much of him, but he comes deep, he looks for the ball, he can distribute as well, and you can see that without scoring, he's still looking very dangerous.
Dennison leads it. Deflected right back towards him, but brought back down by Gorski. That was a tough ball. Reversio couldn't bring it down. 37th minute. Still scoreless here. Cosmos and the San Antonio Scorpions. Dennison. Nowhere to go. Throw in for San Antonio. And Lyle Martin will come up to take it. The block stays in play. Now out. First signal was a Cosmos ball. And there's going to be a yellow card issued. away from the ball to Kevin Harms. So I'm not sure where that one was coming from, but Harms just got booked.
See that ball's out. Yeah, of course. I mean, well,
but that's not the player.
Yeah, I think there was a hand. At least that's what Gio Savaresi is saying. The ball has left, and I'm sure look at Kevin Harms probably talking to the referee. A little frustrated himself, I think, not just with the way his team has played, but as an individual. We just talked about that back pass that was dangerous. I think he's been totally outplayed in the center of the pitch with Phelan, but he likes Vizcatella, of course, and Marcus Senna.
Now Martin will take this throw in. Wagner broken up. Senna going forward. Nowhere to go. Gorski, high pressure from the Scorpions. Senna back for New York. Will drive it long. Finds his man. Charishian makes the run. Up the back heel. Numbers in the box. Intended for Naselli. Cleared away by Vuchko. Dennison will play it back to Phelan. San Antonio's done a much better job with possession.
Yes, but I tell you what, and Dennison is the main reason for that. He's ghosting between the lines. You know, I often say, you know, we often ask strikers to move a lot without the ball, which is true. I think they have to do a certain amount of that, but I think too much movement can be detrimental as well, because you are the target. You got to link through that player, and if you watch Dennison, what he does, simple, receives it, gives it, and doesn't move away. He moves towards the ball all the time, and he gets it.
Last ball was tackled out away from Naselli. Cosmos will have to throw it deep in San Antonio territory. Three players trying to have the Cosmos in there, but New York will get it. Senna pulls it back against Dennison. Comes back to Zatella. Picked off by Phelan. Wagner, oh, he gets nailed by Zatella. Be surprised if that's not a yellow. Very hard foul. Well, the way the referee Rivera's been calling it, I thought for sure there'd be a yellow card.
Yeah, I think Zatella gets the benefit of the doubt on that one, because I'm like you, thinking that maybe it could have been a yellow, but good for the player, I suppose. I never like to see the referees pulling out cards.
Yeah, no. Just basing it on the other three cards. Giroux makes his run. Freeman defends. Giroux makes one nice move, then he was cut off, but there's a foul there. Free kick is coming up for San Antonio.
In a situation where I'm not sure the referee did reach for the yellow card right there. I think Freeman clearly beaten right there. There's a pull, and if that's the case, you're already beaten. Usually that's a yellow card, so that must have been lucky on a couple of occasions, I think.
Free kick from the far side of the field. San Antonio scored 5 goals this entire season, spring and fall, off of set pieces. On the whistle, driven into the box, and that's Overeenish. Goal kick, New York.
That would have been spectacular. I tell you, Phelan puts that away, although you're looking at this, was 15, 16 yards away. The direction was good, but I'm not sure if that cross was intended to go that far away from the goal.
Mendez pass to Freeman. Cosmos on the attack in white with a green trim out to the left side for Diaz. Pulls it inside of Martin. Diaz got it inside, got it back, drills it! Diaz with a goal! Cosmos lead! Scoring drought's over.
That's just a spectacular strike. And I'll tell you what, for me, Diaz deserves this. This is world class, really. Absolutely no chance for the goalkeeper. But I think Diaz is the only player on the Cosmos right now that wants to take responsibility on his shoulders. He's the one that's driving at people, making defenders uncomfortable, taking them one-on-one. And I think there was an element of luck in all that, the way the ball broke, I suppose. But he didn't take it for granted. He ran through it, and look at that. No chance whatsoever. Great strike.
So that shutout streak ends at a great time for New York, getting a goal near the end of the half.
They make a habit of that.
Yeah,
it wasn't the first goal in the first game, of course, and then in stoppage time from NASL, where he sniffed out that goal because it was a huge mistake, if you remember, on the winning goal, of course. And then they haven't scored since. So this is a good omen. You know, play to the last whistle. Of course, going into halftime, you got that little momentum going with scoring, and let's see if those heads are down, because we've spoken with Tim Hankinson. He was worried about that, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Only one goal down on the road, but the timing of it not good for San Antonio. Great for the Cosmos, but now they must not concede one the other way. Maybe looking for another as Zatella's pass too far for Chirishian. Vuchko gets it back the other way. Mendez clears that one. It goes into the seats. First goal of the season for Diaz. He started game one, was a substitute in the last couple of games. But he got the start because Guenzati was injured in that first game. Now, with Guenzati out, with the red card, he gets another opportunity to start. Rainish makes the easy and safe play. Cosmos with a 1-0 lead. Goal in the 42nd minute by Diaz. Play back to Rainish. Sends it all the way downfield.
I wonder if Tim Hankinson going into halftime is going to have to make some adjustments in the center of the pitch. I don't think we can overstate how much they miss someone like Borja Rubiato. We changed the system for him. 3 strikers, of course, in the last game. It didn't feel it worked, but I still think that he would have found space for Borja Rubiato on the pitch. And it may be one player that they're missing right now. But you still have a couple players on the bench that can make a difference. And I just wonder if you have to do it almost immediately and not wait another 10 or 15 minutes in the second half.
Carlos Mendez chased by Zahorsky. Rosselli. All the way back to Rainish. Fourth official ready to put up stoppage time. He does now. It's 2 minutes as we've hit 45 of the clock. Chirishian. He got taken down by Phelan. An immediate yellow came out. Phelan was in disagreement. That's the 4th yellow card issued in this game so far, first half.
Well, you look at see that movement for Chirishian taking players on. It's a piece of the ball right there on the follow-up. I think he's right. You know, it's difficult for the referee to see that because it comes so quickly and you see the reaction of Chirishian. But I do agree, of course, with Phelan on this one. I think kept his foot on the, on the ground, got piece of the ball. That's what he was going for. Contact is going to be made, when the momentum carries you through.
Last 3 yellow cards have come to Scorpions players. The Cosmos will have a throw in here with about another minute to go. Center. Zatella drives it. True bounce right to Hannigan. Over to Giroux. Harms. Janicki. To Martin. Ramirez is now popped up on this side. He and Wagner will change frequently. Martin. Nice move up the wing. Gorski had him tied up. Advantage call. Martin got around. Reversio played it across. A chance here on the turn. Dennison couldn't get rid of it. Couldn't get the shot off. And now it's cleared upfield to NASL. Oh, wide open was Ayoze. Nobody saw him. Wide open by yards. Clock has struck for 2 more minutes of stoppage time, and we almost saw a goal at one end and a breakaway at the other in the dying seconds.
Yeah, I think Cosmos are lucky just before halftime not to concede. Lyle Martin did a great job in delivering that ball on the right-hand side, and you see, of course, Dennison with back to goal. But, you know, yeah, that whistle came at the right time. There's no questions about that. Here's Lyle Martin right there. That's positive. Drives that ball across, and look at this. Out of position, Cosmos, a little bit when he takes the first touch. But then you see that collapsing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide jersey right around him, not allowing him to turn, so that's well done.
Dennison had no chance to get that shot off. It is a 1-0 lead for the New York Cosmos. We're joined by the head coach of the New York Cosmos, Gio Savarese. Gio, let's get your thoughts in the first half.
I thought it was a half in which we did a lot of good things that we've been working on and things that we couldn't do before, which is finding the players behind the defensive mid. We found Chirisian a lot of times at Yose. We were able to turn, you know, and go towards them, and that's a good thing that we were able to do this half. We create a lot of chances. We have to put them away. Now, one thing is important is to be able to be confident enough to be able to play the ball around and not give them possibilities to be able to counterattack. I think that's the part that we have to be a little more careful.
Gio, Janos here. How do you keep that momentum going in the second half? Your message is to get the second, third, or are you going to become a little bit more cynical?
No, we're going to continue doing the same thing. I think, you know, it has worked so far. We want to still handle the ball, keep on going at them, because that way we still keep them behind. And the only thing is to give them confidence to be able to play, to keep doing the same thing, but just to be a little bit more safe in playing wider in order to create the 2v1 situations and support that side.
Good first half, Coach. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Gio Savarese, head coach of the New York Cosmos. That shutout streak ended. It was almost a 2.5 games. Diaz with a goal, 1-0, Cosmos.
Tickets on sale now. Call 855-71-COSMOS or visit nycosmos.com.
Bring your dog to work day?
Not our best idea. Oh, it was a nice thought.
Some business decisions are better than others. The best decision is switching to Verizon. Choose Verizon Fios for 100% fiber optic fast internet and business class phone, both with 99.9% network reliability. All for as low as $69.99 a month with a 2-year price guarantee. Plus, get an additional line included. It's all backed by our worry-free guarantee with no activation fees and more. Hurry and call 1-888-774-4418 to sign up. Verizon.
True luxury isn't found following convention, because true luxury follows no one. Its beauty provokes, its touch seduces, its power frees. We believe true luxury liberates. The all-new Infiniti Q50. Lease the all-new Infiniti Q50 with all-wheel drive for $399 a month.
Construction sites are dangerous places, and although there are numerous safety regulations, many workers still suffer serious injuries as a result of on-the-job accidents.
Our team of trial attorneys has extensive experience with construction accident cases, and we know the importance of helping you and your family get the best result possible.
So if you've been injured on a construction site, we invite you to call us today.
Savino and Barnes, injury attorneys, 800-888-8888.
Don't wait. Call 8. Whenever you want, wherever you go, your favorite shows are there.
How does that work?
With DirecTV Everywhere. We've added Showtime with shows like Dexter and Homeland, so you can watch the same shows you love at home.
That should be a good thing.
On your cell phone, tablet, or laptop.
Why not?
Catch up on previous seasons anytime, anywhere.
I'm in.
Plus, we're adding more of your favorites all the time. Start watching now at directv.com/everywhere.
The scoreless streak ended at 222 minutes for the New York Cosmos. Diomar Diaz gets credit for his first goal of the season as the Cosmos have a 1-0 lead over the San Antonio Scorpions here on Long Island. Joined by a very special guest today, Alex Galani is one of the team physicians for the New York Cosmos. We hear a lot about physicians these days in all of the sports. All teams have a team physician. How has the role changed now over the years?
Well, the role of the team physician has always been to keep the players safe, to keep the players performing optimally. Over the years, it has changed in that now we pay more attention to injury prevention, to safe play and participation, as well as there have been more attention to certain types of injuries. For instance, concussions have received a lot of attention both in the media and in the medical world in the recent years, and the role of physician has been to streamline the treatment and prevention of those injuries.
It's good, isn't it, Alex, that the protocol has changed? Because if you ask any player, he wants to go back out on the field, and sometimes that's the worst decision he could make.
Absolutely. The players obviously just want to play. These guys are incredible at what they do. They love what they do. We love what they do, but our goal is to keep them as safe as possible, and the protocol is now well-defined, well-established, and accepted by the medical community, and that's what we're there to bring as the medical providers for the team and to make sure it's adhered to and make sure that the players are kept safe.
You hear a lot about rest and recovery. No problem with the conditions tonight. It's 73 degrees, but some of these guys are playing in 100-degree heat. What has changed over the years in the way you deal with that, the rest and recovery?
Absolutely. Well, it all starts with the player conditioning, and we try to contribute to that. Obviously, they have incredible conditioning, coaching staff, and the players train very hard to play in conditions, like you said, 100-degree weather. But I think it starts from player conditioning, and then it also we pay attention to subtle signs that the players may ignore themselves, and to make sure that they get pulled out if there's any suspicion of risk or danger to the player, and then adequately recover before they get back in.
I know you're busy. You're working the sidelines, so enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you so much.
It's good to always have a doctor on board, just in case. You never know. Our guest, Alex Galani, one of the team physicians for the New York Cosmos, who lead San Antonio 1-0 here at halftime.
Tickets on sale now. Call 855-71-COSMOS or visit nycosmos.com.
You know what's so awesome about the internet? It gets more and more entertaining every day. And once you've got Verizon Fios, that's when you get it. How 100% fiber optics takes your entertainment to ridiculous levels.
I was streaming videos, movies, music. Once I realized how fast it was, that's when I got it.
Want to upgrade your entertainment? Switch to a Fios Triple Play online now for $79.99 a month for the first year. Plus your choice of a $300 Amazon.com gift card or Visa prepaid card with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. This offer ends soon. Fios brings 100% fiber optic power right to your door. That's why it delivers America's fastest, most reliable internet for blazing fast movie downloads and smooth streaming video playback. You'll also get unbeatable TV picture quality. So get this hot deal for only $79.99 a month for the first year. Plus your choice of a $300 bonus with a 2-year agreement. Hurry, this offer ends September 3rd. Visit Verizon.com/hot price for this amazing deal. Technology that makes life more entertaining. That's powerful.
You wouldn't send a kid with a garden hose to put out a 5-alarm fire. So when you get hit by bed bugs, stop kidding around. Call Bell Environmental, the experts you can trust. Roscoe, our bed bug sniffing dog, will find the problem, and our instant freeze will fix it. Bell Environmental treats your home or office without harmful chemicals or damage to your belongings. Safe and thorough. That's Bell Environmental, the professionals you can trust.
Exciting action is next door at Resorts World Casino, New York City. Play thousands of table games and slot machines on 2 spacious floors. Enjoy great food and nightly entertainment. Right now, new members get $10 in free play and a chance to win $500. Located near JFK Airport, it's an easy drive or ride on the A-Train. Take our free shuttle from the Long Island Railroad Jamaica Station. Resorts World Casino, New York City, minutes away.
Here.
1-0 lead for the New York Cosmos here at halftime. We're joined by the head coach of the San Antonio Scorpions, Tim Hankinson. Coach, your overall thoughts in the first 45?
Well, I think we had trouble on the turf. The ball was sticking to our feet, and
It was a more challenging service than we thought it would be. Usually we're pretty good on turf, but our players seem to struggle with it. Our possession was not up to par to create the kind of chances we wanted. We did have 2 or 3, I thought, very good chances, but our overall service and opportunities in the box weren't enough in order to get a goal.
Message for the team, start of the second half?
Big message. Substitution for a player that twice in a 2-minute period didn't track his man and basically gave up on the play. So when you see that, then you question the commitment as to how really in it is he. And this has been a problem with the team. And so I hope it sends a message to the entire group that you've got to be committed to the job that has to be done out there.
Appreciate your time, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Best of luck in the second half. That's Tim Hankinson, head coach of the San Antonio Scorpions. Here are the highlights from the first half. We start with this yellow card on Diaz.
Yeah, somewhat lucky here, but you look at Churishin here, that's a positive run, a little bit too selfish really, because that touch is too low. I don't think it's intended to find its target right there, but it was positive. And of course, you look at this, Janicki doesn't do a great job under pressure and clearing that ball. And let me tell you about this goal. It's just beautiful to watch. Less said, the better. Just watch it.
No way to fault the goalkeeper on that one.
I can't take that away from him. He's going to feel good about that. His confidence is going to grow, and I'll tell you what, he deserved it.
Halftime numbers show New York with the edge in shots at 6-3. The shots on goal 2-0. So Tim Hankinson's club did not generate a shot on goal. Kyle Ranish did not have to make a save. Yellow cards are a bit of a story here. Keep those in mind. They're on Diaz, Janicki, Harms, and Phelan. We'll see what changes are going to be made in the second half for these two sides. Cosmos may not be making any change. I would think they'd be satisfied with the way the first half went, unless there are injuries that we don't know about.
It was a great and honest assessment at halftime. Not many coaches say that, but you've got to take responsibility. We've talked about changes in the center of the pitch. I think we see, of course, Saavedra in the center of the pitch, 40-year-old. One player that I think comes to mind almost immediately if you're going to find a little creativity and possession in the midfield, because I just think that was missing there. I think Pat Phelan did a good job defensively. I think that maybe Kevin Harms maybe wasn't up to par, really, hiding from the game, if you will, but Cosmos made it difficult for them to play.
Cosmos back at home tonight, but they're going to be back on the road at Edmonton. That's the next game. That's on September 1st. Our next home game will be our next televised game as well against the Atlanta Silverbacks. They were the winners of the spring season. They get to host the Soccer Bowl November 9th. You can see that game, Atlanta, the host of that. That's the remainder of the Cosmos schedule through October the 20th. Check out the brand new New York Cosmos online shop at NewYorkCosmosShop.com. Throwback jerseys of Pelé, Beckenbauer, and other Cosmos legends. The new Nike jersey and other Cosmos merchandise available now. We didn't shop online, you and I, but we did go by the store in the stadium.
I thought that you were going to contribute. I saw you looking at that Pelé jersey.
I thought you were going to.
I don't know if you still.
I thought you were going to tweet me,
but
and it was my mistake.
There's still time.
So next time I'll bring cash. Walter Ramirez is the player that was subbed out. So we're assuming, right, that that's who Tim Hankinson was speaking about, because he said someone missed their man on 2 occasions, and that player is going to be subbed out. That's the only sub they made.
Yeah, the trouble came on this side on the goal. I thought maybe, if you look at Lyle Martin
I thought he was talking about a defender.
Defensively, but obviously on that side, because they're so attacking minded and going forward, that missed a couple of chances. And yes, I mean, the Cosmos have had a lot of opportunities, a lot of joy, if you will, on both wings, really, in terms of breaking and with speed and in possession as well. So we'll see how that pans out. And, there's going to be a little bit of movement, I suppose.
Second half underway. Marcos Senna on the ball. So we'll see how much that late goal in the first half has helped the Cosmos. Diaz scored it in the 42nd minute. Immediate foul. Free kick coming up for San Antonio. Javier Saavedra is the player that's come on. He's actually 39 years of age, 9 caps for Mexico, 12 years with Tigres, but the team has been struggling. He's good with the assists, but at age 39, probably a little bit tough to give him a start in this game tonight. But he's out there now to try to change things, make things happen on the field.
Yeah, when we talked to Tim Hankinson about him, I think he likes his ability to link up. I think he keeps that possession going. Not necessarily a player that's going to change the game in terms of pace or scoring or assisting, really, although I think he's capable of that. But again, when you're struggling for possession, and especially the way the Cosmos are playing, you know, my question to Hankinson would have been, if I had a chance to ask, of course, was how do you break that high pressure? And you need players like Saavedra to help you with that.
Well, you saw the numbers. They did not create a single shot on goal in the first half. And with two strikers of the caliber of Dennison and Zahorski, you've got to create something.
I just think that, you know, as you see Saavedra on the ball right now, I just question that, you know, he's playing wide a little
instead
bit.
Of centrally, right?
Instead of central, because when you look at a player at that age, obviously maybe not the pace, a player that works relatively hard, I still think that I would have liked to have him a little bit more central.
Under pressure, it's played to the left side, but Daru, sliding tackle won by Ayoze. And Daru does well to fight and win it back. And then he gets knocked down. Wuchko, all the way across. Martin leaves it for Phelan. Pressure from Chirishian, who almost took it away. Phelan pushed back on the ball. San Antonio will try the long ball. Intended for Zahorski. Be a throw in for San Antonio. It's a dangerous ball. It's going to end up as a throw-in.
And look at Phelan. He's still struggling with that ankle. You can see him limping from time to time right after he played that ball. And I'm surprised that he's lasted that long. But I think you and I know him very well. So he's a tough customer, of course. No questions about that. But is he playing now 100%? Is he helping his team? That would be my question. Because if you watch him, he's nowhere near being 100%.
You couldn't see it. Free kick coming up. Pat Phelan, a little bit of a limp. Playing in the central part of the midfield with Kevin Harms. Daru for Phelan into the middle. Harms will start back. The captain, good idea. Flag stays down. Dennison is in. Big save, Rainish. Best opportunity there for the second leading goal scorer in the league, Hans Dennison. Terrific ball in to Springham.
I tell you what, that was tight. You see that flag staying down, and I kind of like that. I'd like to see it again, but you know, we always talk about offside and benefit going to the attacking player. So when you're not sure and it's close enough, you got to let that go. And I tell you, Rainish, great job in challenging him. He came out very, very quickly, made the goal look smaller for him, and I saw Dennison with lack of confidence. I think he could have taken another touch, get a little bit closer, look for other options. I think, you know, Mendes was there or thereabouts somewhere in there giving him pressure, but, you know, Dennison, a good goal scorer. This was an opportunity that I'm not sure is going to come around too often.
It's really their first shot on goal. San Antonio trying to get back into this game. They're only down by a goal. Senna tried to finesse that ball up the middle. Look at this on the nice run on the right. Freeman with Ayoze. Hunter Freeman holds, cuts it back. Spanish midfielder Ayoze drops it back for Marcos Senna. So many years with Villarreal, and so many productive years as well for Senna. Played up, Chirishian. Quick footwork, gets him wide, left side. Diaz showing for the ball. But it was cleared out by Phelan. Now we're going to see another substitution for San Antonio.
Yeah, I think he just times it perfectly right there. And look at that pressure comes in. He takes that shot 19 yards away. So you can see Dennison was nervous there. And I think Rainish made him nervous by just coming out, looking big. Just made it difficult for him to put that away.
You're right, Janos, about Phelan not being able to make it for 90 minutes as much as he tried. The gutsy performance by Pat Phelan, who limps off. He'll be replaced by Jeff Jennings, who is normally a starter at right back. So we'll see if
San Antonio doesn't change things around a little bit with players going into different positions. Jennings is not normally a holding midfielder. He may end up playing there. We'll see. But that's a change that Tim Hankinson didn't want to make for tactical reasons. The first one was for different reasons, and there's another card that's coming. Well, if that's on Janicki, he's done. Yeah, he's out. Second yellow card for Janicki. So right after you made one substitution, and it was your second one, now you have to be thinking about a lot of different things. You're down a man.
I tell you what, I question that. That to me, you know, second yellow card, of course, sending off. But I think it's a case of player wanting to go for the ball. You know, the Cosmos player standing there, not challenging for the ball, just reaching over the top. I didn't see anything intentional or cynical, you know, to try to cause harm. And it's a big, big decision. So when you look at this, unless it's that elbow, as you see that arm a little bit leading over, this will give us perhaps a better look. Yeah, a bit reckless, I suppose, but still a huge call. I think, you know, I've always said, I mean, if you're going to send a player off, that's a huge call. It changes everything, especially with that team. I don't think this absolutely had to be. You know, that arm wasn't leading for me. It was just an aggressive header, I think.
A second yellow card. Well, that's it for Janicki. So San Antonio down to one more sub, but they're down a man. Cosmos ended up losing 2 players last week. They finished the game with 9 players. This time, they'll have the advantage.
Yeah, and, you know, look, I feel I'm a little bit biased defensively when I played. I mean, to me, you know, when a player doesn't challenge for the ball, you come over the top, eventually you're going to land on the player. There's going to be a little bit of a push. So that's where I would draw the line. If both players are challenging, you lead with an elbow, you're overly aggressive. I can see that. In this case, oof, I don't know. Harsh, I think.
Senna strikes it, it's deflected. Over the bar. Corner kick, New York. A 1-0 lead, the goal by Diomar Diaz in the 42nd minute. Now the Cosmos, thanks to a second yellow on Janicki, have an extra man. Ayoze with a corner. 27-year-old midfielder drives it towards the back post and well beyond it. Chirishin brought it down. The shot is blocked. Tapped back. Switched to Senna, who was pointing out, trying to direct traffic. Applauded the effort. The pass wasn't as good, but he liked the direction. He's telling Hunter Freeman who was open, when to play it, all of that. It's got to be like an orchestra leader, right, Janos?
Well, yeah, you have to be. Yeah, communication is super important. And I think, you know, when you have a leader like Marcus Senna, you want him to give encouragement, of course, a little bit of talking on the pitch as well. So I think he was appreciative of the effort. And, you know, younger players will always, you know, appreciate, if I can reuse the word, you know, having Senna guide them a little bit.
Reversio's pass to the outside. Worski ahead for Nocelli. 1 against 2 at the moment, dropping it back. Too far away, intended for Diaz in the middle. Scorpions coming back.
And you can see defensively after that sending off, Kevin Harms has dropped into that center back position right next to Vučko. Looking what the decision may be. And you said already Jennings looked out of place a little bit. I'm not sure if he was meant to play in the center, but I think he's going to continue out of necessity really there right now.
It's tough for San Antonio. Dennison had the best chance to score. Rainish makes the big save. And then right after that, they have the injury to Phelan. And then the red card, the second yellow.
It's unfortunate because you look at this game, and I think you felt the 20-25 minutes in that perhaps the Scorpions will just have 1, maybe 2 opportunities in this match. And as desperate as they are, even more so now with 10 men, they needed to take advantage of that. And it falls into the right feet, I suppose, with Dennison. So yes, that's disappointing.
Intended for Zahorski. Cosmos clear it. Will go on for a throw-in for San Antonio. Back at the halfway line. Vučko will have a lot more to do, presumably, without Janicki there. Reversio to Zatella. Up the middle. Chirishian pulls it back. Plays it wide on the left sideline. Cosmos with numbers forward. Now make it 5 in the attack. Played over to Freeman. What a save that was by Hannigan. Off the header.
Hey, look at that delivery, Noselli. Heads up right there. Just making sure that Freeman can get wide open. Beautiful cross right there. Diving header right at the goalkeeper, although he had to make a superb effort, really. You almost have to go against the grain where he came from in that situation. Hannigan, of course, going to that far post. And maybe, just maybe, Freeman had a little bit too much time. But I think it's important to notice.
That's heading over.
Going back, what I liked about that play was Chirishian initiating that ball to Noselli, spreading him wide. I think that was a key pass right there.
San Antonio will try to play it upfield for Dennison. Didn't make it. Chirishian for Zatella. Hard challenge there. Scorpions win it. Then a bump there. Zatella won it back. And then the foul. Free kick New York. How about that for the quick touch of Senna? Almost worked. Ayoze. Zatella in the middle. Under pressure now. The high pressure from San Antonio playing with 10 men.
It's easy to say that it's a huge disadvantage to play with 10 men, but it doesn't really have to be when you really think about that, because I mean, often you don't attack with all 10. You know, you still have 4 in the back. You look at 4-4-1, if you will. The question is for me, do they have enough pace?
Noselli behind the defense, coming in. Goalkeeper didn't give him much to shoot at. Hannigan, it's knocked out for a corner.
Yeah, the last touch, a little bit short. I think that even Sully handcuffs himself a little bit with that touch. The ball stays behind. Maybe that stickiness that Tim Hankinson was talking about caused that. He certainly has the technique to deal with that.
Ayoze will take another corner. Drive it across the face of goal. Nobody near it in white. Gorski's the closest to it at the far sideline. Hunter Gorski, it's blocked. Coming right back. Dennison. Knocked off the ball by Zatella. Bounces back up as it's taken over on this left side. Played up by Daru. Cosmos get it back. Freeman. Rain. Well out wide, far sideline. Kept around by Diaz. Reversio to Mendez. And the Cosmos captain finds Senna. All the way to the opposite side. Driven upfield by New York. The look was for Chirishian. Intended for Senna. Intercepted. Ayoze waited, finds Freeman on the right. He kept it in play. Looking, crossing. Noselli. Scorpions coming back on the right. Throw in for them. Trying to move it up the middle. Senna cut it off. 4-on-4 on the break upfield. Freeman, well, Ayoze kept it alive. Drops it back. Dennison. Reversio. For Mendez, joined us late. Diaz scoring in the 42nd. Snapped a 222-minute scoreless drought for the Cosmos. Then around that 51st minute, red card to Greg Janicki, his second yellow, equaling the red, ended the night for him.
I just wonder if there's still another substitution that should take place for San Antonio, really, because Tomas Zahorski hasn't had a good game. He doesn't look like he's pacey enough. So to have Zahorski and Dennison together almost doesn't make sense. So I keep Dennison there. Maybe somebody like Fabrice Noel can come into with a little bit of pace, because you're going to have to hit the Cosmos on the break with transition. You need a little bit of pace. And quite honestly, I don't see much of that with the San Antonio team overall.
Marco Senna finds Ayoze. Push forward by Zatello. Gorski's over there up higher. Ayoze in the middle turns. He's got Freeman wide to the right. Finds him there. And off Freeman. Took his eye off for just a split second. Went off of him.
See, but I'm disappointed with that, with Ayoze. Ayoze had all kinds of time, and he was looking to play negative, really. First looking backwards, then spreading the pitch. I can understand that. You are leading right now, but I think you want to put this game away. And for a player like Ayoze, with all his experience, with his technical ability to take players on, and the ability to take strikes from distance, I think in that situation, there's absolutely no need to play that ball wide.
Giroux. Down that left sideline, cut off there by Mendez, back to Rainish. Fancy footwork there to Mendez, up the wing. Sent it back to Chaufford. He knew his team was in a bit of trouble. Zatello almost had it taken away by Saavedra. Harms got it forward. Dennison left in. Oh, here's an opportunity here for Dennison walking in. Big save. Dennison is right. Senna will take it. 2 big saves for Kyle Reddish in goal. San Antonio looked very dangerous that time. The most dangerous they've looked on the night on the attack.
Dennison's making me look bad. I said he was a prolific goal scorer, and I think I like him, what he does. But again, what a situation. Rainish gets a lot of credit, of course.
Sully played it in front. Oh, Diaz looked like he was going to have a sitter there, but instead it was knocked out.
Well, you look at this combination, and Hunter Freeman keeps everything on right there. I think he's late and stepping up, and again, not much to look at, but a good goal scorer. I think baits the goalkeeper to go down. Maybe you can dink it over or go around, and you've got to try different things. Not as easy as it seems, but again, 2 very good situations for Dennison. Playing men down, losing 1-0 right now. You've got to take advantage of one at least.
Turishin is the player that's down and will need some attention. 1 sub left for Tim Hankinson of San Antonio. Gio Savarese has not made a change, so he's got all 3 subs that are available. Here are some of the chances for New York in the second half.
Well, and speaking of regretting chances, 1-0, a man up right now. You've got to score that second and put that game away. And here's the best one. Noselli with a great cross. And I'll tell you what, this is just a great save. Because you look at Freeman on that diving header, he's done just about everything possible. I think maybe you want to head that into the ground. That eventually, I think there was a whistle on that play, so half a chance, if you will, to a degree, because it wouldn't have counted. I like the build-up and all.
We're going to see a change on us. Stefan Dimitrov is going to come in for Turishin. So Turishin played a little bit behind Noselli. We'll see if Dimitrov plays up higher in this situation for them. And also keep in mind, Cosmos are playing a man up.
Yeah, and I think this is enforced because Turishin has looked good. I'll tell you, linking up, I think he formed a partnership, at least in the first 45 minutes with Noselli. I think those 2 look very good together. So I think he'll be relatively happy with his performance. Hopefully this is not a long-term injury. But yes, you've got to make those substitutions.
Bit of a tug there as the ball played across, and there's the open man. It was Zahorski coming through, and the flag was not up at all. Well, they almost scored on a similar play. This one counts.
Yeah, great combination play. And guess what? Look at that little pass from Dennison. He's been better in setting up than finishing, and that's obvious. And Zahorski hasn't done almost anything in the game, but that's what makes some strikers special. That's 4 goals in 4 games for him. So obviously he's got a nose for the goal. He sniffed it out nicely right there. And if you ever talk about being guilty of ball watching, Carlos Mendes right there, I'm not sure if he had an idea that Zahorski was behind him, but perhaps he thought he could have intercepted that ball. Regardless, you got to see the ball and you got to see the man that's making the run.
Flag just went up on the Cosmos, so they had a 1-0 lead, looking to expand on it. They're playing a man up. and they give one up. Full credit though to San Antonio. The way they were going after it, several times up the field. They came close before.
Absolutely. I mean, this didn't come out of nowhere. We've had 2 chances with Dennison. We've seen a couple of other plays where they've built. They've taken advantage of, that was nice and tight, that right-hand side. The way that combination took. Remember what I said about 3-player combinations, and I think that's how it started. So
Marcelli made the run. He got a step behind Daru. Marcelli played it across. Another save for Hannigan. Well, the goalkeepers have done a good job tonight. They've stopped anything that could be stopped. Would have been tough for Rangers to come up on that Zahorsky play.
Yeah, and Marcelli, a little bit of lack of confidence, right? He's been in those situations on a couple occasions, and he can't get around the last man. When he does, he almost brings it back to Rue in this situation, able to catch up with him. So, again, that's a good opportunity that was missed by the Cosmos.
Daru pushing it back to Ruchko. Scorpions playing with 10 men. Zahorsky gets the goal in the 65th minute. 4th goal in 4 games. Can't ask for much more than that. Right side of the field. Martin. Looking. Knocked away by a reverse seal for Diaz. And although his goal allowed was at a different time, it reminds you a lot of Game 1. And Cosmos had the lead. They let Fort Lauderdale come back, and they scored in stoppage time. A lot of time left though in this one. Freeman, bending ball. Got away. Cosmos Family Pack gives you and your family access to discounted tickets and merchandise at one low price. Pick up great seats to any Cosmos home match. Get 2 Cosmos backpacks for the kids. Call 855-71-COSMOS or log on to NewYorkCosmos.com for details. What's going on the benches, the 2 coaches?
Well, I think Tim Hankinson is very, very happy with the response, and I'm not sure if he counted on that. I mean, here's a team that was absolutely outplayed in the first 45 minutes. Then for the good part of the first 10, 15 minutes, and you're talking about red cards, so you don't usually think that your team has it in you. And the reason we say that, because Tim Hankinson told us that morale has been down. He sees it in players' faces a little bit. Obviously, you lose 3 games, you're behind in this game, so I think it's positive for Gio. I'm not sure he can be happy. I mean, he's got to get the 3 points here. This is the best I've seen the New York Cosmos play so far, and yet it's 1-1.
If Rangers wasn't making those big saves before the goal, they'd be losing. So he can't be happy with the way his team's come out of this half.
And here we go back to the creating a lot of chances, which I don't argue, but would you agree with me that perhaps San Antonio created better chances?
Here's another one. Here's another one. Rangers came out. What's happening with that back 4? And it's not just the back 4, obviously, but
they just
not looking good.
To prove my point. In transition, on the counter-attack, it reminds me of the last game. In the first goal, they gave up against Carolina because it was in transition. Possession was Cosmos, and all of a sudden, here comes the break, and there are no people in place to deal with it.
Corner for the Scorpions. And that was whistled down for a foul inside the box.
Well, there's no pressure on the ball whatsoever right there, and the players are pulling up, but not in unison, and that's the problem. Gorski, I think, in this situation, on the far side, of course, keeping everybody on, so that communication that we've talked about could be a problem. It's easy for me to say that Roversio, of course, is somewhat new in that partnership with Mendes, but there was no problem with that partnership in the first half because there was no pressure. You find out a lot about your players when they're under extreme pressure, and that's what's happening now in the second half.
Hunter Freeman. Nocelli makes his run, played it across, Hannigan came out and missed it, and Diaz tried but couldn't make a full connection to it. San Antonio will now fly down that right flank. They've looked better with 10 men than they did with 11. Well, sometimes that happens.
And you know why it happens also? Because in the second half, it never always there's more pressure, no space on the pitch. There really is. I mean, players are getting a little bit tired. Mentally they're missing their assignments, and I think right now San Antonio is taking advantage of that. Look at the space. Even though they're playing with 1 man less, remember that comment I've made that you don't you know, it doesn't have to be all that bad with 10 players for as long as you organize and play quickly, and that's exactly what's happening.
Key is if you're organized, right?
Right, and we didn't see that in the first half because they were under extreme pressure and they couldn't find that outlet out of the back. Right now, New York Cosmos are giving him all kinds of space, and you can see that organization. Look at the New York Cosmos right now. They have more players, but look how spread out they are all over the pitch right now. That's not what you want. You want to be compact now.
Ayoze got it in. Dimitrov flags up.
So the idea was right. The execution was not. We're going to see another substitution. Henry Lopez is going to come into the game, replacing Diomar Diaz, who had a very busy night. Yellow card at the start, but then a goal that stopped the scoreless streak at 222 minutes. Fresh legs of Henry Lopez. One game as a sub. That was in the opener. And then he's missed the last couple because of injury. Lopez from Guatemala. Trying to provide a spark to this team. Up a man, but right now it's a 1-1 game. And San Antonio has the momentum in their favor.
Quite frankly, a very good recognition from Giovanni Savarese, because there have been problems on that left-hand side, of course, and you see Lopez stepping in there, just trying to prevent that. You see Dennison drifting there a little bit. Saavedra, remember about, you know, we talked about the link-up play, very calm and comfortable on the ball, and he's been on that side, even though we questioned that substitution. It goes to show that Tim Henkinson knows his team much better than you and I.
Yeah. In the box, bit of a stumble. You know, in retrospect, even though Dennison was robbed on a couple of occasions by Rainish, that helped the team in terms of the rhythm of the game, a little bit of momentum, gave them some confidence. They were getting chances. If they weren't getting chances, that's one thing. He was getting the chances. They kept their heads up, and then finally, another better ball.
And I tell you what, this is why I like Dennison, because there comes a time for a striker. There comes a time for a striker that when things don't go your way in terms of scoring, missing opportunities, you have to do something else. It doesn't mean that the game is done. You can still contribute, and we've seen it even in the first half when he didn't see a lot of the ball, that he was very good in coming back, keeping possession, making these little passes, so he contributed in many different ways.
Got another player down. It's the captain, Harms, in the box, who will need some medical assistance in the 73rd minute. Well, it's been a rough night, hasn't it, for San Antonio? Between a red card, injuries, giving up that goal. Still 1-1 here. Time to tell you about Cosmos season tickets. You can purchase Cosmos season tickets, get the same great seats for all of the home games, plus added benefits like merchandise discounts. Call 855-71-COSMOS or log on to NewYorkCosmos.com for details. Fans a little bit restless right now. Saw Gio Savarese's team have a 1-0 lead, some momentum, an extra man, but then they've given up a goal and other chances as well. This is not good body language on the part of Kevin Harms, who's limping off. He's not upset because he has to come off. He knows the training staff came out, but he's got to know that this is really hurting. Once the training staff comes out, he's got to go off. But he'll be back up there quickly, unless it's determined that he can't go. It's Edin Husic, who's already up. So maybe the decision's already been made, and maybe that's why Harms is upset. He wanted to stay in. Maybe that's the body language I was reading. Back to play, 11 versus 10. Cosmos with a man advantage, but it's a 1-1 game. Henry Lopez on the left side, 18 in the white and green of New York. Sending it right side, Hunter Freeman. Played across and cleared by Harms, who came back out there. Right side, Freeman, into the middle. Quick shot taken for a post. What a chance for the Cosmos.
Gorski was making a challenge. Iose was making a run. It was Iose at the end of it who almost got it.
Yeah, well played to Iose not to give up on that play. The angle was almost impossible. If you look at that strike, it's obviously a strike to the far post, and look at this. Just ran out of real estate for sure, but you still don't want a player to just ball watch. You want him to get there just in case, and let's see. Yeah, it was always going to be difficult to even keep it in play.
Vucic had the penny off and looked like he was ready to come on as it's cleared away, but maybe Harms gave a signal to the bench that he was okay to go, and he stayed in there. Free kick coming up here for San Antonio. Saavedra. Right side, Martin. Cut off there. Cosmos on it. Lopez lost it there. Wagner, foul on Lopez. '77th minute. The way San Antonio's season has gone, you know, if they can get a road point, that would be a plus for them. But right now, they've been the better side over the last several minutes.
And Cosmos stopped playing for the most part. Really, you have to put that on to the shape of the team. I think not as organized. I think you saw in the first half, everybody was moving in blocks in unison, really shifting from side to side, making it difficult for San Antonio Scorpions to do anything, never mind build up. And right now, I mean, if you ask me, I wouldn't be able to say who's got an extra man, because it looks like San Antonio does from time to time.
Dimitrov. Cosmos have made a couple of changes. Still looking for that goal to put him back on top. Iose leaves it. Long shot. It's well wide of the target. Goal kick for Hannigan. Off the long strike. Morrison was looking for it. Now it's Dennison. Pushing it wide. Saavedra has some options. Mendez clears up the middle. Senna. And then flicked over by Lopez for Gorski. Lopez got free. Still has it. Off the return pass. Now it's Senna. Hunter Freeman. Disrupted there. Throw in. Cosmos want to get it back in quickly. Senna drives it. Back post. There's a free header. And off Hannigan's fingertips. Corner kick. Terrific chance for the Cosmos.
That's what happens when you give a player like Senna time to have a look. No pressure on the ball whatsoever. Perfect cross. And again, we've seen that on the other side. And you look at this, maybe played a little bit behind Lopez. Lopez has to reach back. You can see that he's not all that comfortable. But I think you got to look at Lopez. He's got to get himself in a position to finish. I don't think Senna could have played that ball any better, really. Great opportunity missed once again.
Another player down, Giroux, for San Antonio.
And again, no pressure on the ball. You've got to get in his face just a little bit, and you look at that delivery right there. He's in a good spot right now and just misjudges that ball. For him to go down that low with his head, almost might as well take it on the volley or even receive it, although that would have been much harder. But great chance. Marcus Senna can't be happy with Lopez right now.
Well, here's the situation. Drew's going to go off just for now. So they're down to 9 men for this corner kick. And then he'll get the referee's permission to come back. It'll be a short corner to Senna. Iose. Far post area. Foul on New York. Now Drew's going to get the referee's permission to come back out on the field. So 9 men. Didn't last long at all. Just for that corner. Drew is back. The referee's permission. '80th minute. Is there another goal to be had in this one? Both teams have had chances here in the second half. San Antonio has had the more chances and the better chances in the second half.
Mendez for New York. Freeman. Up the right flank. Cutting ball. Ayoze. Played into the box. New York trying to find this at the end. Knocked away by Wuchko. Corner. Still 1-1. 10 minutes and stoppage time left. Driven towards the middle. And there was some more holding and pushing there. Foul is on New York. You think, Giannis, at some point, even though San Antonio has looked dangerous on the attack, at some point they might be content to say, we've got the point here. It's been a rough start to the season, as opposed to going for it. Risk reward, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they know by now that they're going to get an opportunity on the break, because the Cosmos have allowed them to do so by you. I mean, I think you have to start playing safe a little bit, because you've got to come home with something out of this game. So you take a point, and yeah, when the opportunity arises, of course, you're going to try to take advantage. But psychologically, obviously, momentum going way the other way so far. I think San Antonio will feel comfortable with what they are right now. But Cosmos, of course, we know they're a resilient team. They like to score towards the end of each half.
Pushed forward by Harms. Upfield, that's Saavedra. Leads the team with 5 assists when you combine the 2 seasons. Spring and fall. It's a throw in for Martin. Headed up, that's Zatella. Ayoze. Working forward, has options, cuts to his favorite left foot, tried to drive that one in. It's going to be blocked and rolled out of play off Jennings. Throwing for New York. Center. Crossed away. Hunter Freeman. Zatella, 14 in the white and green of New York. Back in the right for Freeman. Marco Senna. Dimitrov. Tough angle. Difficult to score from there. Here's a look at what has happened tonight. Cosmos scoring first. The goal from Diaz. An equalizer in the 64th from Zahorsky. 3 yellows and a red with Janicki's send-off around the 51st minute. Changing the game, but actually, Janusz, changing it in favor of San Antonio.
Yeah, I mean, that goal from Zahorsky was, you know, something that they needed, of course, and it changes the mentality of the game, if you will, for both sides. And the Cosmos are still paying the price for that.
There's Lopez with it. They've been a better side since the send-off goal of Janicki. Maybe a little bit more desperation for them. Who knows? Far side of the field. Cosmos looking into the middle. That's cleared away. 1-1 scoreline continues in the 84th minute. Center from Zatella. Marco Senna holds from distance. Thought him on it. Fakes. Couple of pullbacks. Then at the end, didn't have enough on that one.
Yeah, didn't feel.
That was a nice little clinic for a while.
Yeah, didn't feel comfortable with his left foot on the first try. Yeah. I mean, he's created enough space for himself to have a go. Decided against it, of course, and then went to his left once again. So here, that was the opportunity. I think you're going to see it here. This is for me where he's got to release that strike. He goes at it once again, and in the end, I think kicks it into his own foot, really.
Marco Senna and the New York Cosmos involved in a 1-1 here. Time running out in the second half. Off Wagner. And that's going to go out. Throw in for the Cosmos. You're watching New York Cosmos soccer. It's a 1-1 game, 85th minute. Cosmos won in stoppage time in their home opener. Can they repeat that tonight? Won't get it done that way.
Bit of a character check, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right now. Now is the time where I think you key players have to step up, and you know, you can always look towards younger players. I think they can be the hero. Anybody can be a hero, really, if they choose to, and they take the responsibility on their shoulders. But you know, I'm looking towards Noselli. I'm looking towards Ayoze. I'm looking towards Senna to get the 3 points here, very much like they did in that opening match.
Got the extra man. They've had it since around that 51st minute. San Antonio's going to have a free kick here. Well, 5 minutes left and some stoppage time for sure. Cosmos get to the ball in their half. Bracena. Noselli turns. He's got players open now. Freeman has Ayoze to the right. He'll play it in towards the end line. Ayoze cuts it back. It's blocked. They had numbers going forward in good spots.
Yeah, great lead from Freeman. Good run from Ayoze. The end product wasn't there.
Well, Hannigan changed his mind about coming out. That almost was costly.
We've seen that a couple of times with him. Right? He hasn't made too many mistakes, of course, but you know, misjudged that ball, that's for sure.
Noselli had that game-winning goal in stoppage time in game one. He's had some opportunities to get something done tonight, but in some cases it seems like he's passed up the responsibility of the shot and made that pass. Granted, would be talking different if those passes were converted, but a couple of those right across the mouth of goal were chances that went unanswered.
Too much sideways, too much backwards. Yep. I think he's dropping deep, and I understand why he wants that ball, but by virtue of wanting it, once you get it, you got to think positive and drive at people, and I think that's what he's missing. I'm not saying that he's playing badly, but yet very, very cautious, I think.
Zatella, 87th minute, center. Back for Zatella, moving it ahead. Ayoze got it wide. Lopez makes a run around. Gorski, shot taken, blocked, and held on to by Hannigan. Gorski and Lopez doing well on that side at that time.
Don't mind that, JP. Actually, how many shots from distance have we really seen if you look at New York Cosmos? And you know, I think, as we said, they keep possession nice. They stretch teams very well. We know that they can play well in wide positions, but I still have a question: what happens centrally? So sometimes when those options aren't there, you just have you gotta have a go on goal.
Wagner pass to the right. Saavedra. Cosmos with an opportunity. Noselli. Scorpions have players coming back. Good run by Noselli near the end of the game. Still has those legs. Noselli looking up. Shot was blocked. Mendez kept it alive for Senna. And no fouls are called. Letting play go on. It's a good thing there for San Antonio, I would say. We're going to see another substitution. Kashiwashe, number 26. Will make his New York Cosmos debut. He is from Chiba, Japan, Japanese Youth International. So Noselli, we've got the game winner in game one. Won't be around to get it here in the second home game. Our first look at Kashiwashe for the Cosmos. On this right side, ball played across. One flick is wide.
Positive contribution almost immediately from Kashiwashe just to get to that ball, and you see obviously very, very far away, facing the wrong way, but you're right. I mean, he just wanted to continue that ball. Nobody on the far post to take advantage of that. Noselli with a great run. Felt a little bit for him because, I mean, this is exactly what we were waiting for. I mean, when he took the players on, making defenders uncomfortable in the penalty area, sometimes you have to tiptoe around the player, and you're inviting that pressure, perhaps getting a penalty as well in the process. So more of that, but obviously not from Noselli anymore.
Here's the 20-year-old, and he took a hit. And before anything happens, the foul was called. He was trying to bounce right back up. He felt that one. Time running out, 90th minute. There'll be some stoppage time. We'll see how significant in a moment. Here are the Cosmos. Lopez, right at goal. No rebound. If there was, Kashiwashe may have just run onto it, and any part of his body could have knocked that one in.
Yeah, sure hands from Hannigan. Right at him, to be fair, with plenty of power, though, so you can understand why he may have spilled that. He didn't. There's a positive. Kashiwase, I guess he's got the energy. He wants to prove that he belongs here, and I think we're going to see more and more of him in time.
Clock has almost hit 90. 1-1 game, plenty of excitement in this one in both halves, especially here in the second. Played long into the box, headed for Zahorsky, swept up by Mendez. Ready for the throw by Wagner. It's official now. 4 minutes put up on the board. Minimum of 4 minutes. So a good amount of time for both of these clubs. Giroux, Zahorsky. That pass was cleared away by Mendez. It's coming all the way back to the Cosmos end. It'll be a throw-in for New York. Mendez and Freeman back and forth. Reverse seal. In the first minute of stoppage time, a 1-1 game. Cosmos have been playing with an extra man since that 51st minute. Kashiwase has Dimitrov up with him. Cleared, but not out of danger yet. And now San Antonio will come away with it. Nice moves there, but then it was lost. Senna into the middle. Ayose open at the moment. Got it wide for Freeman. Zatella. Kashiwase down for it. Senna heads it. Lopez!
See, Kashiwase gets his head, Sam keeps it alive, and look at that guided and powerful header. I tell you, folks, that's not easy if you play the game. You'll know it. I mean, you could see he was looking for that far post from that distance. It has to be perfect with a certain amount of bounce, of course. Headed it down. It was just unbelievable, and you can see that reaction. I can understand. Patrick Hannigan has done just about everything possible to keep the ball out for most of the game, and quite frankly, I think San Antonio deserved something out of this game. But again, the resilience of the Cosmos. I mean, it's a trade that hopefully, will continue. I think you want to take the drama out of it a little bit earlier, I suppose. But if you can't do that, that's a great trade. That's a foul.
Dimitrov was taken outside the box. The line is part of the box. It was very close with the proper call.
Yeah,
and now San Antonio is going to make their last switch. Giroux is going to come out. Fabrice Noel will come in. There won't be much time. Once the referee acknowledges this. More balance, you can hear Gio Savarese. So Savarese knows it's still not over yet. So we've gone at least that 4 minutes of stoppage, and there may be some more time added on now after the goal celebration and then a substitution. Free kick here for New York. They could put it away. Ayose drives it, it's deflected wide. That deflection almost helped them. It leads to a corner kick. So we're done with the subs, or we're done with the scoring. It's 2-1 New York. Second straight home game where they have scored a dramatic goal in stoppage time. Henry Lopez, 13 minutes was his total minutes played in game one. He's exceeded that here in the second half. He's also scored his first professional goal in North America. That short corner, they're just trying to keep possession. That didn't work. They've given the ball back to San Antonio. Almost at 4 minutes of stoppage, but again, that's a minimum. I think more time would be added on here. That's incredible. I'm a little bit surprised at that. I thought he would add more time to it. Went right to the 4 minutes. Cosmos fans are thrilled because this was a game that looked like they were only going to get 1 point from.
Yeah, and I think this would have hurt I mean, if you look at overall, you have to say that the Cosmos have been the better team. Yes, there's some chances that Denison has missed, but overall, I think you have to say that Cosmos deserve it. But I just don't know if they want to leave it that late. I think you're happy with it at the moment, but you surely talk about how this transpired throughout the game, because they came close to losing 2 points.
I mean, sometimes the fans like it, the drama at the end, but sometimes you think to yourself, you know, I'd rather have the game be over a little bit sooner. I know coaches would rather stay away from the drama.
Yeah, 3 points. 3 points, that's for sure.
We'll come back and wrap this up. Cosmos wrap up 3 points on a goal by Lopez. They win over San Antonio.